Good evening. We begin with a story of ordinary people coping with an extraordinary tragedy. The story of Barrie, Ontario, a community which for a few terrifying minutes last Friday fell victim to the awesome power of nature out of control.
It's hard to look at the scenes of devastation and not imagine, what if it had been my home, my community? But for the people of Barrie and a half-dozen other towns, the reality was almost beyond imagining. The random fury of a sudden storm had literally ripped their lives apart. The Journal's Doug James and his crew arrived in Barrie a few hours after the funnel cloud struck, and for the next 2 days they chronicled a community's efforts to pick up the pieces and start over again.
It's 10 o'clock on Friday night. The storm has come and gone, and now, after her brutal show of force, nature seems to mock us with her beauty. The devastation is hidden under a cover of darkness, but little by little, throughout the night, the true horror of this day will become evident. Soldiers are searching through the rubble on Crawford Street. Just a few hours earlier, the people who lived here were going about their business, preparing supper, making plans for the weekend. The soldiers don't know what they'll find here, but they're expecting the worst. This neighborhood was right in the path of the tornado. Some people are still missing.
They're looking for somebody.
I think they're looking for somebody else yet, a little girl or something, they said. I'm not too sure, really. But until we're sure, then we'll keep searching.
From the shadows, amidst the turmoil, the only light in miles. Dan and Debbie Bain have returned home to pick up supplies for the night. Dan's fear could be heard in his voice.
I was laying on the couch there. I heard some banging and everything. I thought it was the carport up above us. I looked outside and I see this here tree falling down and everything. I said, holy, what you call it? I got pretty damn scared and everything for sure.
The policemen from Barrie, Collingwood, York Region, and Toronto are on hand. Military personnel
It's now near midnight. The city has declared a state of emergency. All unnecessary traffic is stopped. The roads are filled with ambulances and trucks bringing in soldiers to help with the relief work. Emergency shelters for the homeless are being set up. One is at the local armory. Soldiers and civilian volunteers are unloading provisions, blankets for those who'll have to spend the night here, and food, truckloads of it. Many people haven't eaten since before the tornado struck. Some, sick with worry, haven't been able to.
When you come or when you call, I'll set up.
Can I talk to everybody, please? I'm with the Barrie Police Department now. I'd like to get some information out to people. The people that are victims, okay, the people that are victims that are here because they have no place to stay, could you please come forward? I got to get some particulars from you, if you would, please.
By now, most of the disaster victims have found a place to stay. Some with friends, some with total strangers, people who just wanted to help. This family isn't so lucky. They'll have to spend the night at the armory. They have nowhere else to go.
Tomorrow morning I gotta go work.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. You can't go to your home until it's all checked out and we give you...
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Throughout the night, the tornado is all people have been talking about. They all have a story.
I never really realized until afterwards what had really happened. I thought, you know, it's a bad storm. But at the moment when it happened, I remember looking out the window and watching a tree fly by. It was a sight that I'll always remember.
I thank you very much. You've done a hell of a good job. Go home and rest. Thanks.
These cadets have been too busy to swap stories about the storm. But now it's time to go home. They've put in a long day. The next one will be even longer.
If you need a ride, listen, you're standing properly at ease. If you need a ride home, you just see Lieutenant Paul. You will walk home, and you already heard from the officer what you're supposed to do to get home. Any questions?
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. 9 hours since the storm struck, 7 hours since this emergency center was opened. The city has come together to face one of its worst tragedies ever. People have brought in clothing. Stores and restaurants have donated food. And the community has opened its doors to make sure the 600 people who have been left homeless have a place to stay, at least for tonight. As they settle in for the night, most people still have no idea what lies ahead. Some weren't home when the storm came. They don't know whether their house is even standing. It's 6 o'clock Saturday morning. With daylight, it's possible for television cameras to record the devastation. But the people who live here will have to wait another 7 frustrating hours before they're allowed to see it for themselves. Roadblocks keep them out. The authorities believe there still may be bodies under the rubble. Only emergency vehicles will be allowed into the area until their search is completed. When residents are finally allowed to return, they won't recognize their community. Until now, life for the people here had been fairly stable. They never counted on something like this. In 30 seconds, years of hard work were wiped away. The tornado's tremendous vacuum power just sucked everything up, forcing houses to literally explode from within. Amidst the rubble, bizarre scenes like this. The roof and walls are gone, but clothing still hangs in a closet undisturbed. On Crawford Street, where soldiers frantically searched through the wreckage the night before, the news is bad. The people who were in this truck survived. But 3 other people, 2 of them children, were killed when their homes were demolished.
Shirk, S-H-E-R-K, Stephen.
The rescue work is being coordinated by the Red Cross. This morning, it's trying to reunite families and reassure worried relatives calling from out of town. The job would not get done without an army of volunteers.
B3CBI, this is B3NLN. Go ahead, Carl.
Good morning, Marion. Well, if you need some help later on, I'm available.
Sorry about that, George. Okay, Carl, thank you. Your name's on the list, and as I say, we will be needing relief later on.
At the police station, a major problem is developing. As the morning wears on, more and more people are desperately trying to get permission to return home. But they're still being told to stay away, that it isn't safe. They've waited long enough. Their frustration is now turning into anger.
Bunch of creeps, that's what they are. Bunch of bloody creeps.
I went out for 5 minutes and they won't let me back in.
Who do you mean they?
The authorities. The military police told me to go to the OPP. The OPP told me to come to the Barrie police. The Barrie police say we're just not letting you in. I'm getting in. I know a couple of back roads, and that old truck, she's going to get me in.
Somehow, some people, out of sheer desperation, are able to break through the police lines. When they arrive home, they're shocked to see a 2-foot-high pile of debris, where once there was a 2-story house. Hardly a word is spoken, and then suddenly, their instinct for survival takes over. Mechanically, they begin to pick up the pieces of their broken lives. At 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, the police barricades are finally lifted, but only for 3 hours. It's now almost 24 hours since the tornado struck. People are coming back to their homes to try and salvage what they can. For many, that won't be much. Only now are they realizing just how devastating this storm has been. In Barrie alone, 250 houses are uninhabitable. Another 250 are heavily damaged. As they inspect their property, some people worry that their insurance may not cover the damage, that somehow this was an act of God. Only later will they learn that claims will be honored. As the Riquette family returns to their home, they're simply glad to be alive.
But some things are incredible upstairs. Some of the things are okay. Look at the spice egg here. I mean, that is okay. Some of the things I really care for are still okay. And the other things, it may be, I don't know, if it can be rebuilt, I don't know where we get an estimate of. Actually, I'm so grateful that this is still all right. Because my husband's hobby shop and his other hobby with all the little soldiers, that's still okay.
I put them up on my shelf. They should be can't stand on that here and there's fiberglass on it. Don't stand on that here. No, don't touch those.
It was a miracle that more people weren't killed. Children in this neighborhood were allowed to go home early, and the power went out at their school. Minutes later, the tornado ripped the building apart. By late Saturday afternoon, area residents had salvaged what they could. Now they had to go back to their friends and relatives. Some are still in a state of shock, but many others are already talking about rebuilding their homes and their lives.
Does everybody have the food they need?
Sunday morning, relief workers are going door to door with food and water.
Bag or bring a box. Come and get what you need. We cannot stay for very long.
What do we do for you, ma'am?
I just want some water and some milk.
Water and milk.
Please.
Here, we got some water for you there.
Thank you.
There you go, and
In the aftermath of the disaster, others seek a different kind of sustenance.
Heavenly Father, we pray now that we would find comfort in your word, that we indeed can comfort others, especially those among us and those within the city that have suffered tragic loss.
This woman feels the tragedy more than most. Mrs. Wilson's 14-year-old son, Todd, was killed here on Crawford Street, where soldiers had spent so much time searching by torchlight 2 nights ago. Today, his mother is searching for something to remember him by. These photographs are all she can find. It's Sunday noon, now almost 2 full days since the tornado struck this community. Neighborhoods are pulling together, but people still feel helpless. Picking through the rubble, searching for odds and ends, is something they have to do. It's part of the healing process, a process which is just beginning. This is the house where Dan and Debbie Bain were lighting the candles on Friday night. Debbie came back this afternoon to see what none of us could see on the night of the storm. It's quite a different scene here today than it was on Friday night.
Yeah, I guess everybody's realizing what they lost.
Debbie's next-door neighbor, Mrs. Mazid, cooks breakfast as her husband clears away fallen trees.
A gouge right in her arm when she was holding.
Their daughter Nergiz was at home when the tornado hit. She wanted to talk about her friends on Crawford Street. Nergiz still has the innocence of a 9-year-old, but at the same time, one senses this will change the way she looks at life.
Is where Paula Bodenheim lived.
Right. That's pretty sad, eh?
Right there, near where those 2 hedges are, was the kitchen. Then it divided somewhere there. And then the living room was there, and Nikki's room was right there.
And what happened to this family?
Well, their dad was at work when this happened. And I think that they found Mrs. Lilefave in the fields behind there. I don't know where they found Danny.
But both the mother and Danny were killed.
Yeah.
And how about your other little friend?
Nikki? She's in a coma.